This is the first in a series of videos about the ongoing WGA strike against the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, also called the AMPTP. Now in its fourth week, the Writers Guild of America describes the current situation writers face as the most significant attack on compensation and working conditions faced in a generation. The transition to streaming platforms has allowed studios to exploit and underpay workers across the entertainment industry, especially television writers. 49% of employed WGA writers work for the NBA minimum, and residual income has dropped substantially during the streaming era. This highlights the urgency and necessity of addressing issues surrounding fair compensation and working conditions for writers in an industry that is rebuilding itself around streaming. Additionally, writers are advocating for regulations on the use of artificial intelligence in projects covered by their contracts. These regulations are aimed at ensuring that AI is not permitted to write or rewrite literary material, serve as source material, or be trained using content covered by WGA contracts. In a dystopian future, the rise of artificial intelligence is a threat to human storytellers and their jobs. What was once considered impossible for algorithms to accomplish is now within reach, as large language models become increasingly skilled at predicting the next word in a sequence. This fast-evolving technology raises concerns about the displacement of human creativity and the potential for a world where AI becomes a dominant force in storytelling. The implications of this are worrisome, pointing to the possibility of dumbing down creative industries. Large language models use machine learning algorithms and extensive data to generate responses that resemble human output, but they are not sentient. They are prediction machines approximating art. They predict the next word in a sequence based on what it has learned from trillions of data points fed into the model. The fast rise of platforms like ChatGPT and Google's Bard have introduced a new era where artificial intelligence can perform a range of tasks, including answering questions, composing essays, writing emails, and even producing poetry or scripts. Their ability to replicate human-like speech is quite impressive and a bit novel, but there is little art in the writing it produces. The text is bland and the style is repetitive once you've read enough of it. The fear among striking writers is producers will use AI to create story ideas and first drafts and then hire WGA writers to make those bland first drafts into real art, all the while paying them less money as rewriters instead of writers. This possible future raises significant ethical, legal, and economic concerns. Works created by AI cannot be copyrighted, and these models are prone to hallucinations, which is a euphemism for making stuff up. While streaming technology has revolutionized content delivery, the creative part of the industry has remained one of humans writing stories. But because language generation models have proven adept at imitating human writing styles and conversational patterns, studios may want to explore ways to cut costs using AI. The WGA makes a distinction between using AI for research purposes versus creative endeavors. After all, many writers may want to include these new technologies in their toolset. While the WGA may be accepting of certain AI applications, they draw a line when it comes to literary material written by AI instead of people. This reflects the ongoing societal debate around the unique creative contributions of humans and the potential impact of AI on culture and art. As AI increasingly encroaches upon creative domains previously exclusive to humans, there is a need to reconcile these advancements with the principles of human dignity and the value of work. There is a need to reevaluate and renegotiate the systems of compensation in response to these changes, ensuring that the rights and dignity of writers are not compromised. Audiences seek stories that touch them on a human level and evoke emotions. While AI may have the ability to predict a string of words, it does not have the ability to create unique stories that inspire. ChatGPT can't craft narratives based on lived experiences. Additionally, a troubling trend has emerged where studios hire fewer writers to work shorter hours for reduced pay on television shows. Streaming shows usually only have 8 to 12 episodes per season, compared to the 22 episode seasons common on broadcast networks. This reduction in episodes cuts into a writer's potential income, which forces them to hustle for additional jobs per year. It's essentially turning writing into a gig instead of a career. The rise of mini-rooms is also a major point of concern for the WGA. A mini room is when a studio hires a small group of writers to plan out an entire season before deciding if the show is worth producing. These mini room writers are paid less money and often are not allowed to gain the experience of being on set when the show goes into production. This places immense pressure on showrunners who have to juggle even more responsibilities in the absence of experienced writer-producers. And it has created a generation of writers who have never been on a set to see a show getting produced. The Writers Guild is asking for sustainable and equitable practices to ensure the fair treatment of writers and to make sure the next generation of writers have the experience they need to become tomorrow's showrunners. There has been almost no progress between the writers and the producers since the strike began nearly a month ago, so this strike will probably last a while. Some have speculated that it may last into the fall, which would make it one of the longest strikes ever. This would also mean few, if any, new scripted series for the fall and winter television seasons. However, the studios might see this as a good time for viewers to catch up on their streaming watch lists. The producers recently began contract talks with the Directors Guild of America and will soon open talks with SAG-AFTRA, the actors union. It's possible we'll see an industry-wide general strike if the producers aren't able to resolve some of these same issues with the directors and actors. And we'll be here to cover it, no matter how long the strike or strikes last. Subscribe and hit the bell notification. Thank you for watching this on YouTube.